Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
and David Lauer.
And this is the Duel episode 8 review. I really like this episode. Not necessarily the mission, mind you, although that is pretty entertaining because we get...
I feel like that was the best part. I don't know
yeah?
what else. I mean, there were a few other parts, but there wasn't like any drama, really.
Really? Yeah.
Beth is gone. It's just like, all right, now they're playing a game.
Wes took up that mantle, and he gave us everything we needed. He gave us a fierce and violent elimination. He also gave us like remorse and
emotional breakdown.
This emotional breakdown. To me, I was like, hey, Beth is gone. That sucks, but Wes just gives a good episode. I felt that way.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, it was definitely in an un-Beth fashion. Beth usually just creates drama with one of the housemates and goes from there.
The episode actually starts off with Wes talking to Diem, who in her own right might be a bit manipulative in terms of like, well, for example, it's her birthday today, so people are going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should slow down so she'll get it, you know? Anyways, Wes is talking to Diem, and he's like, you know, if I win this, I could propose to Johanna. And Diem was like, oh, really? Wes is breaking down the heart of Diem, who always gets the sympathy. He's getting sympathy from the sympathy girl.
I didn't really think of it that way when it was happening. That's very true, though, because she always gets the sympathy because she has cancer. He's portraying himself as a sweet, sensitive, nice guy who wants to marry his girlfriend who's at home, try and get a sympathy vote. I guess I didn't connect the dots when I was watching it. I just thought it was Wes being his honest, nice self. Which, I mean, it was him being honest, but it was, I mean, he's portraying himself in a favorable light because you could say nothing, or you could say what's going on, and it can help you. Because he knows that Beth is gone. His alliance that they kind of had, there's nothing left of it. So it's just about who you're friends with now, like you said.
Yeah, so he's trying to reach out to Diem,
yep.
You know, and it's not like they're not friends at all until this point. She has saved him in the past. Saved him twice, actually, in the past. Anyway, he's working her over a little bit. Or maybe not. I mean, I don't want to be too cynical to say, like, Wes is a fucking bastard. Wes is telling the confessional, he's like, you know what, if I win, this means more to me than just setting up a bank account. I want to start my life with this woman.
He wants to blow
stuff.
it on a flashy wedding.
Yeah.
Just blow it all, man. All the bells and whistles. He's going to pay celebrities, probably drop 30 G's on a band to play the wedding, right? Exactly. If he's going to blow all 150 G's. To me, it's like if you're going to get that amount of money, I wouldn't be like, yeah, we're going to have a great wedding and just do a big... To me, it's like, no, you still do a cheap wedding and then you put it towards a house.
So right? You're saying, he actually should be saying, this money means starting up a bank account. Because I'm going to have to think of our future. Johanna and I's future. Not blowing it all in a fucking extravagant wedding. Making Johanna feel like more of a princess.
Exactly. I'm questioning his financial prowess here.
The whole point is that he's telling this to Diem. You know, the queen of the handout.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She gets a lot of sympathy,
She does. She does. And, I mean, it's not to say it's not warranted. Like, if I was a competitor there, I would be catering to her too.
Diem, on the other hand, maybe she didn't hear Wes too much because it's her birthday, and CT is catering to her. He's like, "Hey, so how about I give you a present in my birthday suit? Like, I'll be your slave for the day." You know, like he's just making her laugh and stuff, just being totally there for her, just making her laugh or whatever, making her feel special. Meanwhile, Jody is talking to Derek, saying, I just feel so sorry for you, Derek. This is your 5th challenge. I just want you to win already. And Derek's like, yeah, well, you know, I do too.
Thanks for rubbing it in. This is my 5th time here.
and that's kind of new for a challenge, for a challenger. You know, this is around the time that no one's never heard of, like, doing, like, 5 in a row before. Derek's
honestly,
like,
I didn't realize that this is his 5th one.
Yeah.
Like, you might have said that to me in the past, but I guess it never really sunk in, and I didn't remember it, and it was like, whoa, 5th time? Really?
Let's get to the mission of the day, the pole dance, which got a really old woman-y laugh from Anissa. She's like,
I know, it sounded like one of those ladies on SNL, like, where they're from the Bronx, and like, and that loud cackle of a laugh. Yeah, she doesn't get a lot of screen time, but I've no part of her has ever been like, oh yeah, I like her, or there's something endearing.
She's been doing horrible lately.
Yeah,
like
like
we
I
barely
always
talked about her.
like I always expect her to do good though. Like, I look at like her strength and like her height and her speed versus her competitor, but then she's never able to put it together once they blow the whistle.
The only time that we talked about her, because she was involved in an elimination round way back in episode 3, and she went against Paula in that wrestling thing, and we're like, hey, Anissa won, right? And now Anissa's part of
she should have done it a lot faster.
And then she's part of Beth's alliance, but she's never helped at all. She's been doing really bad. So, I don't, why are we talking about Anissa so much right now?
Because she doesn't get a whole lot of screen time.
Oh, because she
made
laughed.
a weird laugh. So that's our only opening to like, hey, let's say something about her because she hasn't gotten any TV time in like 5 episodes. Right?
I was like, why are we talking to her so much? Because she laughed once, and I went into this tangent. Holy shit!
I mean, we kind of need to do that though because there's a lot of people on the show that they don't get a lot of screen time.
The mission for today is pole dance. Anissa laughed. We already covered that. They're like 22-foot poles. They're all greased up, and people are going to be divided into two big teams, because CT won the last episode's mission with the Rafty Racer, and then Big Easy because he won the last male duel.
What one was
when he
that?
beat Nehemiah in the guessing game. He lifted
right.
the wood.
Yep, that's right.
So now these two guys, it's a male duel day, so some man's going to go in. So they get to choose the teams. Let's get into the teams that they picked. CT, I think, has first pick. He chooses DM, which is fine. It's typical, whatever. Big Easy chooses Jody.
I feel like he's just trying to solidify friendship. It's an offer and a gesture of stronger friendship by doing it.
And it's not Svetlana or Anissa, which are basically the bottom rung Beth Alliance or ex-Beth Alliance in terms of Svetlana.
Yeah, Svetlana. Oh, of course not. She was never in that alliance.
Next, CT has to choose a guy. He chooses Wes. Big Easy chooses Derek. And Derek's like, all right, cool. Because if he and I win... Oh, by the way, it's divided into 2 teams for the pole dance. They have to get up this grease thing as a team. And one person has to grab the flag off the top of the pole. And then whatever team wins goes on to the second round, which is a run through the
It's almost like Mario
dunes.
Brothers, where you got to grab the flag and slide down the pole.
And then fireworks. Pew, pew, pew,
Yeah.
like
Sorry, the princess is in another castle. You never know what castle she's going to be in.
Yeah, she never knows.
She's
She
going
just kinda,
from Koopa Troopa to Koopa Troopa to Koopa Troopa.
yeah, she'll fall asleep in one castle, wake up in another. You know, like it's.
Hey, you eat enough mushrooms, that can happen to anybody.
It's true. CT chooses Robin. Big Easy chooses Keena. CT chooses Evan. Big Easy chooses Brad. CT chooses Coconuts.
Svetlana. Coconuts.
Right away, I'm like liking the odds of CT's team. But let's actually get to the point. The guy, it's a dude's day. It's a male duel day. So if you're part of the winning team and you win, you're safe. But if you're female, you get a kicker box, a kicker sound system, audio system.
Yeah, car stereo. Yeah, I've never really had a good sound system. I mean, I think it's just the fact that I always despise people who blare their music because it's so goddamn insensitive to other people. Jesus Christ, turn your music down. I don't want to fucking hear it.
It's so fucking insensitive.
Like, I love to listen to my music loud as shit, but you can do that on good speakers and not go overboard where you're annoying the piss out of people who are trying to sleep.
And we had to deal with that shit years before dubstep, mind you.
Oh, God, yeah.
You just wait until dubstep, 2006. You know?
We're not talking to the past here.
I'm trying to put myself in that place. All right, so first of all, CT team versus Big Easy team. Who were you thinking was going to win? Did you not even care? You're like, whoever win will win. Were you, at this point, are you voting for anyone?
Have no idea.
You rooting for anyone?
I'm a fan of Wes. I'm a fan of CT. I think I was against Brad at one point, but I've come around on him. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of a fan of Brad. Not like a huge fan, but I'm not rooting against him. Evan, I like him, but I hate him all at the same time. So, like, I'm so conflicted on Evan. Like, I feel like he's really awesome in some portions, but I feel like he's annoying as fuck sometimes. And I mean, it looks like he's on steroids or something. He's so fucking big, so I don't like that. And then Derek, I find his personality not too likable. Big Easy. I find him big, but I don't find him too easy when it comes to a personality. I don't think he's all that likable, at least from what I've seen. He doesn't seem like a super likable guy.
I'm glad you said that.
There.
He sells himself as like everyone likes the fat partier and shit. You know what I mean? Like it's.
But I don't see that big, jolly, friendly guy. I just see like a guy who's a little standoffish at times because he knows that he doesn't have anyone as friends that are on his side.
He's trying to play the hands he was dealt as being like, I'm the fat party or whatever. But he was the first guy to really throw some shade on another player. Remember when he was like, Nehemiah's like 80% bullshit and 20% show up. No one had anything bad to say about anyone so far. Even Wes, spoiler alert, when he gets to the last person picked, he's like, Derek, out of respect. He was never like, Derek, because I could take you, motherfucker. Maybe he might have come as condescending to Derek, like, I have so much respect for you. You should be my son's godfather. You know what I mean? Hug him. And Derek's like, get the fuck off me. You know? Like,
you're part of the family. Come here.
Yeah, you're part of the family. Well, it's not talking shit about someone. And that's what Big Easy did with Nehemiah.
Yeah,
and
he
that's
did
why
talk shit about him. Like, Wes, when he was saying that to Derek, that was, I mean, coming up. Yeah, we'll just skip right ahead and get to that.
Should we?
Because, I mean, they climb the poles. I mean, there's not much to talk about other than...
Oh, right. Well, let's cover that real quick, just for the sake of the listeners who are like, well, we want to hear it, you know? Like, we want to hear it. So, CT's team, they get up the pole first. I mean, it's just grease. It looks like Crisco.
Like
it looked
Crisco.
Gross.
It was vegetable oil. There's no other way to put it.
Like, if I was cleaning up to that pool, I'm pretty sure it would have broke out, you know? It was horrible looking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to...
They had some chest acne going on after that. That's for sure.
And for the guys on steroids, some back knee.
Well, right. They already had it. They just, you know, it accentuated their back knee. Especially for Evan.
Alright, so CT's team wins. Diem, in the end, has to climb on top of the shoulders of Robin and Svetlana. And they're all on top of Wes, CT, and Evan, who are like, you know, they're fucking powerhouses. They can lift you just fine.
Yeah.
It was probably just a matter of like Diem like getting the confidence to be able to stand up so high up and then grab the flag. The other team, Big Easy's team, with Derek and Brad, Keena, Jody, and Issa, they were still talking about. They're like, well, perhaps if you get on my shoulder...
You had to do it like a cheerleader pyramid kind of thing, where you have your base.
Show some school spirit.
Yeah, you get some 3 strongest at the bottom, and then you go, you know, from the biggest to the smallest, all the way to the top. Where you get the 2 girls up there, and then you get the tiniest chick who is Diem at the top.
CT's team wins, and once again... We're dealing with the top 3 guys of CT, Evan, and Wes. We mentioned this before where they were like the top 3, then top 3, second episode in a row. Now they're back in top 3 again. This is fucking awesome. I like this. While they're getting ready to race this thing, he's talking to Derek and Big Easy. He's like, you know what though? We might have lucked out on this one because if we gotta go in the duel, at least we're not burning ourselves out running through the dunes.
Yeah, he's right, because that's physically taxing on you.
So let's get to round 2. It's basically just a run through the dunes, and then you get to a hill you gotta slide down. Then eventually you get up to these hills with a bunch of tarps. I think they might be lubed up as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seemed like the ones going down was slick, and then the ones going up were slick.
And now it's down to these 3, CT, Wes, and Evan, as we said, and then Diem, Robin, and Svetlana. Now, obviously, this is important because Svetlana is part of that. Well, I mean, is she really... She's not part of the Drama Mafia. And she's not part of the Beth Alliance because she cut the head off the Beth Alliance. So where's Svetlana now?
Yeah, she doesn't have really any allegiance to anyone, it seems like.
No. So she's going to have to fucking win this. So it starts off... She's actually ahead of Robin and Diem. Cut to the guys. It's Wes, followed by CT, followed by Evan. Evan is actually kind of way back there. He's kind of far behind.
Yeah, he seemed really slow, but he's a big, bulky guy, so it kind of made sense.
So they're doing really good, but Wes gets on top of the hill, and he stops because he's dumbfounded. He's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. He's trying to read the sign to say what it is. I imagine it just says jump down the hill, because that's what CT... He flies right past Wes and slides down the hill, and so Wes is like, oh, fuck.
It's like, dude, keep running. You got to the top of the hill. Now you need to get to the bottom of the hill. You need to keep going. But he saw the tarp, and he's like, huh? And I was like, come on, Wes, you just had a lead and you fucked it up.
Cut back to the girls, the women, and they have to slide into the water, the same area.
One t-shirt contest, first. Finally, yeah.
Yeah.
Ratings would have went through the roof. Come on, MTV.
Especially with Svetlana, Robin, and Diem. I mean,
oh yeah,
those three
coconuts?
in particular.
I mean, it's too bad Walnuts isn't around anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, this is pre-op though. She didn't get her fake boobs until a couple seasons later with Paula.
She's still hot. I'll still stare. An inappropriately long amount of time.
So Svetlana gets to the water and she slides down, followed by Robin. When they're getting out of the water, Svetlana just can't get up to that speed again. She even said before this, she's like, this worries me because Diem's a runner. And I can't remember the last time I ran, ever.
That was a very concerning quote to hear that, like, I don't remember the last time I ran. It's like, oh shit.
She's getting passed up by Robin and then eventually by Diem. Now Robin, at this point, it's no surprise that she's on top. Robin's been doing really good so far. She's always in the top 3. You know, we're always like, oh shit, Robin's almost there.
She's
or
one of the more physically intimidating females. But in like a long distance run, like a cross country run, being a little bit more lightweight can help you. And it did for Diem.
They said she was a runner and she just has endurance.
That's cross country running is endurance.
So now Diem's in the lead. So we cut back to the guys, and CT's in the front, followed by Wes, and then followed by Evan, I believe. And it's a wicked slippery top. CT.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
His accent was amazing.
He's like, it's wicked high getting up this top. It's wicked slippery. All you gotta do is get up that top. I know it's gonna come down to the top. Just gotta do it.
If you want to be at the top, you gotta get over the top.
I was like, top? What do you mean? I was like, oh, tarp. That's what you're trying to say, CT. But he's pure Boston accent, like top.
Yeah.
Wicked slippery here.
You gotta get up the top to get to the top.
CT, he can't seem to get on top of it at all. But Evan, he fucking starts using his toes like daggers. He's just puncturing the tarps with his feet. He's like, I'm jabbing my toes to the tarp with every step. And he's just climbing up both tarps. There's 2 tarps up this fucking hill.
Have you ever, like, tried to climb a very steep hill? Like they were trying to do with that slippery tarps?
Not with slippery tarps, but...
Not with slippery tarps, but like a very steep hill.
Yeah.
I've done the same thing. I don't want my toes to be pointed forward towards the hill, but I'll turn my feet sideways. But I would also always stomp down to try and create a little bit of a ledge with any of the loose dirt or sand. He was doing that. You know, he was creating a little bit of a ledge by just jamming his feet into the ground. And that's how you do it. Like, I've done that before. I mean, if you haven't done it in the past, you're not going to think of it on the spot. Evan knew to do that. And, I mean, he just, boom, shoving his feet into the ground, and he was just dominating it and just flew to the top.
He's a quick thinker, this Evan. He wins the mission. And you're like, wow, congratulations, Evan. But no surprise. But it is a surprise that it's only his 3rd win this season. It seems like he would have more by this time because he's such a dominating player, you know?
He is a physically imposing guy, but he's super smart. This whole challenge, he was in last place the entire time until they got to that slippery hill. But he used his brains to, you know, shove his feet into the ground and climb the way up.
Cut back to the girls. Diem.
It was kind of sad to see just kind of like get her way up the first tarp, and then just kind of, it wasn't working, and then she just slid all the way back down, and it was just sad.
Diem used Evan's footprints.
Exactly.
Up the tarp.
Yeah, and that was smart in its own right.
Diem, she gets it. This is her 2nd win, but this time I really felt that she deserved it.
She earned it. For
this
sure.
time.
She had seemed like such a weak link since, what was the first one? She got the rings in the first episode?
Because no one really thought to try and get her out.
For her to win that was almost just an oversight by the other players.
Yeah.
It wasn't technically her winning, it was just the other people, you know, someone was going to get neglected.
Alright, so now it's down to deliberations. Evan chooses Diem. She's like, hey, happy birthday. And Diem's like, oh, yeah.
It's a birthday present, basically, right?
Yeah. Now, let's see if Wes melted Diem's heart. The one that gets everyone else's heart melted for her. No, she chose CT.
Well, obviously, CT is her first love. She's not just going to, like, toss CT
They haven't
aside.
said that they're in love yet. They're just saying they're having a good time, but...
If she's not in love with CT, she's fucked up in the head. CT is charming as fuck. Come on, Diem. Just say yes.
Yeah, we're all wet. Why don't you?
I'm not wet for CT. Maybe you are.
What are you wet for then, Dave? Fucking Evan. Wes. What are you wet for?
Wes, obviously, come on. He's an emotional softie. We'll get to that later.
Alright, so now DM chose CT. And CT chooses Kina. You know, this is all... It's clear to us right now that Wes, Anissa, and Svetlana are going to be at the bottom. We already know that. So it's Kina, then Derek, Jody, Big Easy, and now at the very bottom is Anissa, Svetlana, Brad, Wes, and Robin.
But I the fact that Brad was there, I thought that was a little odd. I thought maybe Big Easy would be in that spot. When she called Big Easy, I thought Brad would have gone in that spot. That's what I thought in my initial reaction when I saw it.
What an interesting pick. In the previous episode,
Big Easy, was it
Jody?
Jody, okay.
But like, why would she have? We've never seen any kind of connection between the two. That's bizarre. So, anyways, she chooses Big Easy. Wes is saying, "Hey guys, I'll make it easier on everyone. Just save Brad no matter what. I'm going in." And Wes is in his confessional. Is like, "I can't just sit by anymore. I gotta take control. I gotta take out one of these guys."
He didn't want to stay where he was and just let people dictate to him what was going to happen. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take control. You take Brad. I will choose the person I'm going against, and I will win. And at least that way, it's my choice, and I'm not being put in something against my will.
Yeah.
It was very respectable.
Some assholes might say, "Hey, there was no way that Robin was going to choose Wes over Brad anyways, so that whole speech meant nothing." She was always going to save Brad.
Yeah.
They've been saving each other all season.
Based on the past, yeah. I guess I didn't really think of that.
The point is, great speech by Wes. If you look away from the logic, i.e. Jurassic World, you know, you just enjoy the ride, right? Wes is saying, "Hey, guys, just choose Brad. I'm going in. It's fine." You know, and he's like, "Are you sure?" Wes is like, "No, it's fine."
And he said it out loud, so then, you know, she's able to say, "Oh, well, because Wes said so,
exactly.
I will choose Brad."
If you're paying attention, you would be like, "No shit, she would have chose Brad." But now Wes has given Robin the line. The first time viewer, say this is their first episode, they're like, "Holy shit, Wes! He volunteered to go in. He's amazing. He's a hero." So Wes is in the duel now, right? Who's he gonna pick?
I'm like, he has to go against someone who has a physical advantage over. That would not be Evan. He's bigger and stronger. That would not be CT, bigger and stronger. That would not be Brad. He probably is equal, I would say, in size and strength. So then that leaves Eric and Derek. Eric is much larger than him, and Derek is a little bit shorter and stockier than him.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was between Eric and Derek. Wes, he picks Derek.
What stood out to me was when he says Derek, just to see who's the best at this. And Derek's like, "Oh yeah?" And he's like, "Yeah, just out of respect." Shakes Derek's hand and is like, Derek's like, yeah. The confessional,
yeah. He's like, everyone picks me because I'm shorter than them and they think that I'm an easy target.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, give him a pat on the back for trying to be nice to Derek about it and trying to say, hey, out of respect, you know, that's, you know, may the best man win. But I don't buy that from Wes. I mean, that's him just kind of politicking right there, trying to be the nice guy. I don't buy that.
Nah,
I mean,
okay.
you're not just being like, I'm going to pick Derek because I think he's the best. It'd be like, no, if you're going to pick the person you think is the best, you'd probably be picking Evan because he won that challenge against you.
With that being said, I just wrote this down. I just figured this out while you were explaining it to me. I'm like, holy shit, I just figured it out. The line seemed like bullshit, kind of condescending. Just to see who was best out of respect, for real. Now, there's a reason why this match in particular is so fucking cool and interesting, because Derek, in a previous season called Gauntlet 2, went in 5 eliminations in one season.
Damn.
Wes's first season was Fresh Meat. He went in 5 eliminations, won all 5 of them.
Ooh.
Not only that, but he was with Casey the entire time.
As his partner?
Yeah.
And he had to win those challenges with her?
With her, yes.
He had to basically carry her on his back?
Basically. It was fucked up. You know, he's been in 5 eliminations, so is Derek. To me, that's what he meant. You know, if I'm ever going to defend anything he said, I'm like, no. I feel like he wasn't being an asshole. There was a bit of a truth in there. They draw the card at random, and it's pole wrestling. And everyone's like, holy shit. And Wes is even like, guys should not be doing this. Like, this is the one that guys should not be allowed to do. Wes is like, I have absolutely no wrestling experience, but I'm stronger than the kid, and we both want it really bad, so it's going to be a hell of a fight.
When I heard it was going to be the pole wrestle, I thought that Derek had an advantage. I'm like, I like Derek in this.
Yeah.
In the previous challenge where they were both on the plank over the water and they had to push the other guy off, I don't remember if he went against Brad or CT or Evan, but he stayed low to the ground. He used a lot of good wrestling tactics to win that. If you're shorter and stockier, you have a lower center of gravity. Any kind of wrestling competition, it can work in your advantage to have that smaller body type. Mm-hmm. Having long arms, trying to hold onto a pole, you can't get leverage if you have super long arms. I really thought that Derek was going to win it. Like, I'm a fan of Wes, and I just thought, oh shit, Wes is done. He's done.
Big Easy's like, I have much respect for Wes, but like, I don't think he's ever wrestled before. And Derek is like, there was no other duel that I wanted to play other than pole wrestling. This is like, I've been practicing. I know how to move around in a small space. I've done it a couple times. That is part of his legacy from Gauntlet 2. He out-wrestled giant dudes out of this little sand pit. Let's get to the fucking point.
Let's just start where it starts off with pole wrestling.
Yeah, this is the duel. I just loved how Wes just placed it. He didn't go into the duel yet, but this is how he fucking pitched the match. This is how he wanted to sell tickets. It's like, Derek has a history of beating bigger people, but I have a history of never losing. It was fucking so cocky.
That was the cockiest thing I've ever heard Wes say. And I was shaking my head. I'm like, Wes, I'm a fan of you, but I can't believe you just said that.
There's a Seiko watch again.
Yeah, how many of those fucking watches does TJ have in his pocket?
I want TJ to just have a trench coat, open it, and he just has a bunch of Seiko watches. Like, hey, a bunch of jewelry that is selling in like a side avenue in New York. Do you think Wes or Derek give a shit about a watch? No, we're because
they want to stay in the game.
Derek is like, I'm just shaking and.
Oh yeah, like he looked like a professional wrestler or like a boxer before a huge fight. He was completely in the zone. His face is just determination. He's like Brock Lesnar at the top of the stage, just like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And he's just like in the moment, like ready to eat and destroy. Wes is just kind of watching Derek. He's like, yeah, I realize that this guy is the real deal. He even admits, he's like, I'm scared half to death about this, but I'm going to do it. He's still cocky yet being completely honest. He's like, I'm fucking scared. And when Wes picked Derek, this was probably the last thing he wanted to do against Derek. Yes. If it was anything else, if it was one of the other three options, it would have probably been at his advantage. All right, so the rules is, there's like a small circle of dirt there in the duel, and they have to stay on each other's on the knees. You can't get on your feet. This is key, especially since Derek continues to fucking be on his feet. Like, he's called out on it the entire fucking fight. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but it was fucking annoying. And as soon as they rolled out of the ring, they would be called out. Then they'd have to reset in the center. And you can't really... TJ said you couldn't lay on the ground either. Yeah. You couldn't lay on the ground for too long. Yeah, because if you're just laying there too long, then he's going to have you get back up and go to the middle again. Whoever gets the pole away from the other person first wins. But they kept on having to get reset. They were going viciously. You know? They were just going right at it, and then they would get near the edge. And, like, Derek always seemed... I always felt like he had, like, control of it. He had it closer to his body, and he had, like, a low center of gravity because he was always either on his feet yanking him or on his back and pulling it away. But they would always end up, like, Wes would either take him outside or they'd end up rolling together and going outside and then take it back to the middle. This would continually happen as a cycle, and every time they started to mention... Derek seemed to get a little bit more winded than Wes. He was slower to get up. He didn't have quite the stamina that Wes had. That seems to be the ultimate reason at how it all finished in the end, right? Yeah, I mean, CT's quote was like, every time they break apart and have to restart, Wes has just a little bit more juice than Derek does. Juice, he says. Oh, yeah. The juicing. That's the same as Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire. The juicing. Yeah, exactly, man. This all ties into it. It's just like the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Arnold Schwarzenegger. They go on for 18 minutes, man. And it
Brutal
was
fight.
grueling, so grueling,
Yeah.
non-stop, very physical.
There was a shot of Derek taking the handle and whipping it into Wes's face, but it was from like a far away shot, and everyone was like, "Oh, holy shit!" But they never showed like the repercussions of that. But that looked fucking
That's what
nasty as hell.
That's what I was thinking as I'm watching it. I'm like, it has to be like you have the pole, and when you're trying to wrench it away, you can swing that pole towards a person's face or neck.
And it was super annoying though, because Derek was constantly like, TJ was like, "On your knees, Derek, on your knees," because you weren't supposed to go on your feet ever. But Derek would constantly be on his feet, and it was kind of hard to like kind of pick out during the fight because it was so hectic and chaotic. However, Derek is so short that when he stood up, you could barely tell the difference. But he was on his feet a lot. He said, "On your knees, Derek, on your knees," at least 18 times during the fight. Wes even was like, "Get on your goddamn knees." That? What the fuck, you know? Because Derek was constantly getting on his feet instantly, then throwing his whole body.
Yeah.
Derek had the upper hand a lot because he kept cheating. Wes was constantly holding on to this.
Wow, I didn't realize
so
that.
much more powerful moves from Derek, who was on his fucking feet. Obviously, he has.
You're gonna have all that leverage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was fucking nuts. So it goes on for 18 goddamn minutes.
And Wes ultimately just has more stamina, right?
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
Rips it out of Derek's hands, pulls it out, just fucking throws it to the ground. He's fucking done for.
It looked like he was throwing it right at his face. That's what I thought. And I'm like, oh shit, what? Oh yeah, just chuck it right at his face and give him a black eye or knock his teeth out.
Derek is sprawled out there on the duel floor.
Yeah, and then
like,
Wes was excited, and he was like 5 feet away. But then he like walked 5 feet back to fall right next to Derek for the cameras or something.
Yeah, they lied
Wasn't
down
that noticeable?
There. They lied down there together.
Yeah, he laid down next to Derek, like all like exhausted. I'm like, wait, no, you were like 8 feet that way, and then you were all exhausted and laid down next to him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was obvious.
I mean, yeah, it was just like, come on, you're just playing to the cameras right now.
Oh,
I'm like,
totally
you could have been exhausted over there.
He totally was. And you know what the thing is? He said, I'm so wrecked from it. You know, I respect him. I want him to be the fucking godfather to my kids. He's like, he really put me through hell, right?
Yeah.
And I believe him.
I no doubt that Wes got a bigger fight than he thought he would get.
Derek is having his goodbyes. There's a lot of tearful goodbyes for Derek, though. They're just like, Keena's like, will he ever fucking win? Will he ever show everyone that he truly deserves it? Because he.
Well, apparently not, because he's going home. And good for Keena to call that out. Jeez, what a bitch. Come on. Just let sleeping dogs lie. You don't need to mention that. He's going home.
Even Derek, he's like, I was eliminated halfway through. I didn't even get to the end. I'm going to reevaluate my life.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, does that mean he's done with the challenge? He's going to reevaluate his life. Maybe he's not going to come back and play it again.
Yeah.
If he's lost it 5 times before, I mean, shit, I don't know. It's just a very cryptic thing to say. I'm going to reevaluate my life. Like, what happens when your evaluation is like, nope, I got nothing to live for. It's over. My chance is gone. Like, what if that's your evaluation?
I said that every single player would go on to greatness, and he would go on to win like 3 more times.
What?
Yes.
Spoiler alert. What the fuck? Why did you tell me that?
I'm just saying,
It's
everyone.
awful.
This cast is so stacked with people where it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe it. You know what I mean?
He could have never been seen from again, and I'd be like, Derek, good job.
Why it ruins it. Well, anyways, everyone feels so sad for Derek. So Wes gets back to the house. He's on the phone with his girlfriend Johanna, and he's like, "Yeah, I won, but we fucking wrestled for like 20 minutes, and like everything is in pain and bleeding everywhere." He even says to the confessional, he's like, "I cannot get a grip right now. I'm not happy. I'm not sad, but the guilt and the excitement of it all is just hitting me like I can't control it." So he starts fucking crying.
Yeah, like the emotions of the physical pain and the pressure of all that physical challenge, plus like obviously he's going through a lot emotionally to be away from your girlfriend that you want to marry, being in the situation where you feel like you're kind of set up to fail, or at least you're in a position to fail because you don't really have many friends or allies, and you just have to work, and it's the only way that you're going to get out of it is just determination and beating other people in challenges. He was able to do it. it absolutely burnt him out physically. He's burnt out mentally. He just has like a breakdown towards his girlfriend, and it was just a super real moment. It was really interesting to see.
He starts to break down. He's crying. He's like, I want to marry you and shit like that. He's just like laying it all out. He's a fucking mess. Could it be the roids? Do you think he's on roids?
Absolutely not.
This is the one thing that everyone likes to throw in Wes's face. So I was just like, no. What he did was he gave us an exciting challenge. Not only did he win the mission, or the second part of the mission, but then he
look at the situation he's in. It has nothing to do with him being like roid. No, it's like roids doesn't make you do that.
That's the
roid
thing.
Rage would make him like angry at the person or at the people around him. We've never once seen Wes angry at any point. He's emotional, but it's perfectly normal to be emotional. I always feel like Wes is a super honest person, where he's very. He's a lot like myself, where he's always honest all the time. He's not going to always give you the full truth, but what he does give you is going to be the truth. I mean, he may just be giving you 80% of the truth, and then you'll get upset. They're like, oh, yeah, well, you said this. But it's like, well, that was true, but you just didn't give the whole truth. He does that, but he's always an upstanding guy. He's not a guy who ever seems to get angry or hold grudges for no reason. He doesn't seem to start shit for no reason. He's very smart and tactical about what he does. For him to be emotional at this point in the game, it seems completely right and completely normal. I mean, if we trace it back to the beginning of the episode where he's talking to Diem about like him wanting to win the money so he can get married to Joanna, and then go from there. Like, for him to... He seemed like he was completely shocked that he was still there. And he felt like he was completely broken after that challenge because it took so much out of him. He felt like he had broken fingers. He was scraped and cut. Every muscle in his body was hurting him. He had nothing left to offer. He had given every ounce of effort in his body to this game. And he knew he was only halfway there. There's so much more to go. Potty break.
You leaving. Then you left for all time.
Yeah. Never to be seen from. I can go for a swim in the river.
I think it's recording your voice too. Well, this episode was really recorded in the depths of alcoholism, so not really sure if a lot of this is going to be listenable. And it sucks, because I actually like this episode a lot. Hopefully we didn't skip by too many points that I wanted to make. And hopefully, you know what, I'm probably going to cut all this stuff off, because in the background is going to be Dave pissing. It's going to be disgusting. No one's going to want to listen to this. Gross. And he's still going. I'm going to continue to talk as soon as he's out of fluid. Gross. But as I say, you gotta do what you gotta do, especially on a podcast. It was one of my favorites. It's like you get one episode that you want to get nominated for the Emmys. Writing, sure, no one wrote this episode, but you want to throw this episode for special mention. And I would totally throw this episode up. Why? Because it had heart. And sure, it's Wes. Some people might not like him or dislike him or distrust him, but he took out a guy who was also known for heart, and he fucking felt sad because of it. Yeah, he conquered the known world and wept, as they like to say. Yeah. Oh, that's the best line I could possibly think of. Who was the conqueror who conquered the known world and then wept? Remember that line?
No.
No? Okay. Alexander conquered the known world and wept, or something, because he realized there was nothing else to conquer, and he was like, I can't wait. It was good to see the Beth Alliance get one over the other person instead of, attacking each other. Shark baby, eat shark baby style, as Svetlana took out Beth. I'm still very annoyed by that, by the way. Although Svetlana is cute, she will never discontinue to be cute. And let's just enjoy her as
She will
the
never
season
discontinue
continues.
to be cute.
Yes.
I'm
Glad
just
to see-
reaffirming your point.
Glad to see you back from your cell phone, whatever you're doing.
I'm
What are you
reaffirming
doing?
your point.
What are you doing?
I'm looking up the Alexander the Great.
Okay. But it ended with him, crying. But, like, to me, I was like, wow, that really made the fucking challenge feel real. It felt more, not necessarily life and death, but it felt more real to me. Because no winner ever felt guilty about it. No winner even had to fight that much for it. This was our very first, honest to God, nail-biter.
And Alexander the Great, he was undefeated in all his expeditions around the world. But after he conquered the whole world, it was said that he began to weep. He began to weep. And why would a man weep after conquering the world? Well, there was no more world to be added to his domain. It's like, how can a man have the whole world and still feel empty? It's simply because that the end of an obsession, the end of the exercise in futility, any accomplishment devoid of his true longing and spirits would always leave him a feeling of dissatisfaction. He felt like he gave everything he could, and he conquered what he wanted to do. So anything from that point forward, it wasn't going to mean as much.
So now that at the end of this podcast, make sure to like it, subscribe. You shall get a notification every time an episode drops. And I'm Vincent Cloud.
I'm David Lauer.
We shall never get this drunk again for a podcast. This is a bad idea.
I think it was a great podcast.
Yeah? I felt a little shaky about it.
So that's par for the course for you. You always do feel that way.